Now back to the real stuff. All right, after you got your dirt fixed, you pick out your plants, and in picking out plants, know if you are a sunny area, a shady area, or half and half. And if you're half and half, are you afternoon sun, morning sun, afternoon shade? Know the whole ropes, because it's much easier to pick out something that will accommodate your conditions. You will adjust to the plants will not adjust to you. And there's a great little saying in the nursery on one of the garden stakes: you're not growing as a gardener if you're not killing plants. And sometimes you will think you have tried really hard and done really good, and the plant just doesn't appreciate it whatsoever. But I'll try something 3 times. I'll move it. Sometimes if you just move it 6 feet, it makes all the difference in the world to the plant. And I don't know why. It's just, they're just peculiar like that. And don't feel bad when it says it's perennial. One sweet little girl came in several years ago, and she said, last year I brought daisies. I bought 3 of them, but only 2 of them came back. And I said, oh, that is wonderful. I thought she had done fantastic with her first effort. 2 out of 3 came back. And those are going to multiply. But she was devastated because 1 died. You got to be a little optimistic with this sort of thing too. Some things are going to really enjoy your garden, and some things are not. And the hard part is going through the process of finding out who does and who doesn't. Watering is a very big issue. Automatic lawn water systems are scheduled to water practically every day most of the time for only 1 inch. And I'm talking about usually. If you notice, even a plant in a 4-inch pot, where do you want the water? All the way to the bottom of the pot. And if you're only going to get 1 inch of water, the 3/4 of the roots are not getting any water. Therefore, over time, if the plant is adapting to your methods, you will have very shallow rooted plants. When it gets to be the hot summer, during the day, the sun is just going to bake those roots that are shallow like crazy. Then the little tiny bit of water is not going to, solve their thirst issue at all. So when you water, I try not to water more than twice a week, 3 times when it's 100 degrees, but I water until I can stick my finger down at least 3 inches into the dirt and it's wet. Or you can use a spade kind of thing, go down, pull back, and see if it's wet. That is the only real way to know. Because I have stood over a plant going, oh, I just water him just by himself today. Well, I'll water and it'll run off, and I'll water and it'll run off, and it'll puddle, and I'll check, and it has not hardly grazed the surface. All it's done is run off. And that's why you really need to make sure you know that the water's gotten down in there. Once you know that, say, your sprinklers that go like that or like that, mine, I have to run them 4 hours to get through the mulch. I have heavy mulch in most places, and 4 hours we're just getting to the top layer of soil. And so I try not to let everything dry out completely so that we don't have quite so bad. But I generally will water one spot for 8 hours in order to get it watered sufficiently. And that's why I want you to check, because that seems outrageous, and I could not believe it the first several times I went to check what I had done. And it's a waste of your time, a waste of the environment's in water to just water the mulch or the top ½ inch of dirt. So, use the resources effectively, because you don't want to pay for extra water and it not be any good. If you're going to pay for it, make it good. Soaker hoses, drip irrigation systems are much more efficient than overhead sprinklers. simply because a lot of the moisture will dissipate into the air with them. But I use overhead because it's much easier than fixing all the hoses and stuff.